Nearly 15,000 undergrads cross the stage at ceremonies in Pittsburgh this spring, and now the next phase of their lives is about to begin.
As they transition from college to a career, how can they guarantee success at their first real job? Here to share some tips is Holly Wilbanks. And Holly, you brought a guest today. Tell us who and why she's here.
So I brought Gabrielle Morella. Gabby is the managing partner of a law firm, Morella and Associates, and they work with businesses a lot of times on how they can support their new employees.
We love this.
Yes.
And we have a lot of new employees. We know a lot of people like to stay at their home base. So if Pittsburgh is home, they might have that first job here. And so we really wanted to talk about how to make that first job the most successful, because it can be overwhelming.
It can absolutely be overwhelming. And it's really important for a young professional in their first job to make sure they know what they're walking into.
Right.
And the people to ask about that, yes, mom and dad, maybe some other relatives, but definitely the HR representative, the hiring manager, or maybe even your supervisor if you've been introduced to them. And you can ask all sorts of questions, from what is the dress code, or if you don't know what the dress code means when they email it to you, ask for clarification. And they can also ask, what are the norms of the workplace here? So should I bring earbuds or should I not bring earbuds? We actually had a client who called me and she said, Holly, my boss is mad at me. She told me I can't listen to my show during my lunch break. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she said, well, I had it out on my desk and it was on speakerphone. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's your problem, girl. There's your problem.
Yeah. So it sounds like communication here is really the key, especially when we're talking about a younger generation who loves to text, who loves to use emojis. Just talk about the importance of communicating in a way that people will understand.
Yeah, and that's correct. That's what we see a lot when we're advising businesses, is that a lot of the breakdowns in employment and in workforce is related to communications. Gen Z grew up using social media platforms, grew up using their phone. So assuming that they can pick up the phone and call somebody is not a skill set that is often, in the workforce right now. So it needs to be an education. Hey, ask your employer, ask your boss, when should I use email? When should I use the phone? And then thinking about email in text, that is sometimes tough to handle tone. Make sure when you're writing something, it is very courteous, it is professional. A short email message could be taken as offensive if it's not followed with some extra professional, courteous behavior.
Right.
The other thing to think about in terms of social media is these kids are used to using internet slang and jargon, emojis, hashtags, not appropriate for the workforce. So when you're putting something in text and an email, it follows you, number one, and just make sure full sentences, proper grammar, that will help you advance professionally.
Yeah, we talked about one time, remember how exclamation points, you have to be really cautious because they can be taken the wrong way.
Don't get me started on exclamation points. I could go on for an hour. Holly, what are some of the other things that we need to think about with the incoming Gen Z workforce?
So they're very ambitious, and we hear a lot of complaints, and I know Gabby does too, from employers that they all want six-figure salaries and they all want to be leading the team straight off the bat, right? The ambition is good, but understanding that even small jobs that are monotonous or boring or maybe not interesting are a very important part of the bigger picture is key to communicate to this generation. And it's great for these young people to understand that I may be doing something that may not be as interesting as this person over here, but it is the first step to getting me to where I want to go. We use Tom Brady as an example with our clients a lot because everybody knows he's possibly the GOAT of football, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tom Brady has a great video out there where he talks in an interview about the fact that he originally only got 2 reps, and he went to his coach and complained, why am I only getting 2 reps? All these other guys are getting more reps. How am I supposed to get better if I only get 2 reps? And the coach said, take those 2 reps and make them the best, the most perfect reps you can make them. And then he did, and he focused on quality versus quantity, and that changed his game and the trajectory of his career. So thinking of, not necessarily volume, but instead maybe accuracy is where you want to focus.
Doing the most with what you have.
And that's right. And I always like to think, look back on a year. You will see the growth. Give yourself the time. Take a breather.
Absolutely.
Thank you both so much for being here today. This was really great advice.
Yes, such good information. All right, we will have more information about the Will Banks Consulting Group on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.